Welcome back, folks. It's Stephen here from the Geordie Wild Camper, and today I'm going to be showing you what I take on an overnight adventure. So to start off with, guys, I'm going to be using the Atom packs. I think that's around about 48 to 50 litres. We're going to have a tent, sleeping bag, pillow, sleeping pad, and all of the equipment in front of me that's going to fit into this pack. As I go through, what I'll do is I'll explain each item that I've got in there and why I've got it. This is roughly around about 3 to 4 seasons. It'll get you down to zero, no problem at all. Maybe it's a little bit below that as well, but I wouldn't call it my winter kit. So to start off with, we're going to be using the Atoms pack more. This is an X-Pack version. Very, very stable, very solid. It's proved to be really, really good so far. Needs some longer term testing, but from what I've seen and what I've used of it, superb. For me, I've taken out the strut that goes in the back here to give it really a full frameless feel. It means I can pack things a little bit differently, and I actually quite like a frameless pack because it contours to my back. Any pack that I've used, I've had a sweaty back, so it doesn't really matter whether I've got a bit of air gap there or not. The first thing I do is put in a pack liner. This is the Osprey 70 to 100 litre dry sack. The reason I use this large pack for is, let's say it's absolutely horrendous outside. The weather is absolutely biblical. I can put everything in here and put it in the bag, and it covers the whole of my kit. So there's no worries about anything getting wet. Secondly, I can actually put the bag inside here. So let's say it is really, really wet outside and I need to store my bag outside and there's snowdrift coming in. You can wrap it in one of these, and the bag, your boots, everything will be absolutely fine. I tend to just lay the bag flat, put my hand down the bottom. I tend to just roll it over the top a little bit so I can feel it a bit better. When it comes to the sleep system, I am pretty particular in like what I like to use, and I always want to be warm. I'm a bit of a cold sleeper and I'm a side sleeper as well, so when it comes to mat, either quilt or sleeping bag, it's got to be warm and it's got to be enough spacious enough to be able to move around in. So for this pack, I've got 2 pillows. I've got a Decathlon pillow. I think these are around about £12 or something, really relatively cheap. It's inflatable, but it's got a bit of a padding on top, and it just compresses down massively, so very easy to go into the pack. Secondly, I've just got again a cheap pillow, but this is I think it's got like cut-offs of some kind of material inside, but super comfy. Means I can give it a little cuddle or lay my head on, whichever I want. The quilt of choice is the Criterion Quantum 450. This is around about 800 grams, so really lightweight, and this is good down to -10. I've had it in about 0 so far, and it's performed really well. It is more of an alpine style, so it is tight at the bottom. I would prefer a little bit wider, but if you want to stay warm, these are the type of bags that are good at doing it, because there's less to heat inside. And then this is the Nemo Tensor Regular Insulated. This is the wide version. For my pads, I have to have wide versions because if I'm side sleeping, I don't want to be drifting off on either side and getting cold. So this is 25 inches wide. It has a rating of 4.9 on the insulation scale. And when it comes to weight, I think it's around about 550 grams. So probably comparable with some of the Thermarest X-Therms, although the rating isn't quite as high. Again, this will get you down to 0. And then from a protection point of view, I have this aluminium foil. This is from Wild Sky Gear. You can get those on YouTube, just to give it a little bit of protection. And if I need to sit on something or put it in the vestibule area, it gives us a bit of support that way. So how I pack this is, I fold these down into little packages, little squares, and I use these to support the back of the bag. So they just slide down inside. All the way down to the bottom. And what you can see in there, hopefully, is that they lie flat against your back. It's pretty straightforward after that. Then I go ahead and put the rest of the sleep stuff in here. So this pillow just gets pushed right down to the bottom and creates, again, a little bit of structure. And then just roll this one right up, letting all the air out. Like that. Goes down to the bottom. And then next, the quilt. Shove right down inside. And let it fill up all the little spaces inside. And like I say, that pad is just giving it a little bit of structure. And there you go from there. So next into the pack goes some of the sleep equipment that I'll use. Again, this is going at the bottom of the pack because I'll not use it until I'm into the tent. So a pair of thermal socks, again just shoved in there. A pair of thermal leggings. Base layer merino wool, or a merino wool base layer. An insulated jacket. This is a down jacket from Sprayway. Had it many years, seen a lot of life, but it's brilliant. And again, that doubles up as a foam insulation for in the sleeping bag. I won't wear it, but I'll take it off and I'll put it down where my feet are, because that's usually the place that gets cold, and that helps massively. Again, just chuck it in here. Then what we're going to do is cinch it up, squeeze out all the air out of it and make it as small as possible. Now obviously this is not a good way to store down, so you don't keep it like this forever. If you're storing it, put it in its correct sacks, but for a limited journey, this is absolutely fine. So next up is the cook system, or food. My food bag isn't full, obviously, because I'm not going anywhere, but I do have some bits that I just keep in all the time, and that is the likes of a mini Bic lighter, titanium spork, and also some coffee and a few other little bits. Now normally I would have a dehydrated meal or whatever food I'll be taking, but again, they're cinched up and into the bag. The cook system doesn't change that much. It's a sea to summit cup. You've probably seen it all if you've seen a few videos. Sea to summit cup, a titanium pot, I think this is like $5.50, and then inside a little towel, nets, burner, and the speedster stove there. It all very, very conveniently fits into here. Cinch that down. And that just goes to the right hand side. Now this is another item that I really love, the Thermarest Trekker chair. This is the 25-inch one to fit any pad really, which is 25 inches. I've used it on a big Agnes, the Sea to Summit. I've used it on Thermarest. I've used it on the Nemo, and it all fits. Great little addition. And again, that just fits. And I just shove that right down the side there. And it fits perfectly. So next to go in the pack is some of my clean kit, light or torch even, some protection gear for my camera, also microphone, and then the rest of my electricals, which I'll show you as well. So very simply, in terms of where these go, on the side pockets here I have my own little first aid kit. It's got a couple of different things, blister pads in, tablets, some spare water purification, a couple of Pro Plus, that type of thing. Some wipes for the obvious. In this little DCF pack I have toothpaste and a toothbrush. And this is the Night Core head torch, super lightweight, brilliant. Sometimes I'll switch between a stronger head torch depending on what I'm doing, so when it comes to winter I'll probably switch that out to a Nebo one that I have. And the last couple of bits for this side pouch, That is just a wipe for my camera lens that goes in there. Can be used for other things as well, so dual purpose. And that is a waterproof cover for my camera. It is weather sealed anyway, but a little bit of insurance, isn't it? And that just fits in the side. I do sometimes also put some snacks in there as well if I've got any, if I want, quick access. And then secondly, in the other side pocket, this is the DJI mic, dual mic, and that just goes into there. Sometimes I'll not even take that. I'll just take the mic and the transceiver, but that sits in there as well. And then onto the main bulk of electrics. Now, if you don't record things or take photos, this might be a little bit later for you. In here, flex tail for pumping up and a spare camera battery, along with a phone adapter. In this pouch, a Valium Peak insulated pouch, I keep my power bank. And this is the Baseus 25,000 milliamp, weighs about 9 stone. Absolutely massive, but can charge everything. It's never let us down, so that's also really good. Anemometer, this is the Explorer 1. A light, Goodman's radio, a thermometer that links to your phone, and a bunch of wires in there as well. So, and again, it just sits in there as well. I tend to try and put that closest to my back because that's one of the heavy items, so it just makes it easier for carrying. Sunglasses just sit in the front pocket as well. The runners are on the front pocket. Some water filtration. So this is the Catadine B3, absolutely amazing piece of kit. Love it. This is super easy to use and pretty durable as well. I have got a pinhole in it somewhere, but it still works absolutely fine. And then the Ceenoc bag, I think this has 1.5 litres, 2 litres in maybe. Yeah, 2 litres to fill up when I need to. So I'll just keep that inside as well. So these just go in the side pockets. Like that. Sometimes I will just carry a smart water bottle as well, and I'll put one of those in. Onto the remainder of the kit. So this is a Gore-Tex pair of spray away waterproof pants. And this just sits in the front, right at the bottom. Just push it right down. That sits in there. So then if I need quick access, I can. Pegs. Again, on the side there. I do have a UCO candle. And I'll just pop that wherever. It just goes in the top. No real issues with that. And then last of the waterproof gear. Again, that just sits right in the top here. And I just push it right down. No real issues there. One of my favourite things about this pack is this little stretchy pocket on the bottom. So what I tend to do is my hat. I stick it in there. My gloves go in there as well. And then the multi-seat mat just pushes along. You've got to kind of get it right. So push them. The mat just pushes along. And that gives it a little bit of... And then when I need to, I can just reach around the back and grab them out. Okay, one last thing to put away, and that's the tent. If you're a fan of the channel, you probably already know that I'm a bit of a tent whore, let's just say that. I have many tents. I'm currently using and testing out the No Tent Vern 1. It's been really good, really bomb-proof actually. We'll put them words in, bomb-proof. 1.7 kilogram shelter. It's held up to some pretty good winds. It has a lovely crossing pole as well to give it a lot of structure, but some real quality materials in here as well. The one thing that I wish it was is a little bit higher. Getting in and out can be a little bit of a nightmare. But if you're a taller person, the length is around about 3 foot, so it's plenty of room to get in there if you to lie down if you're a tall person. Right, let's get it packed away. Right, well that's all the tent put away now. Packed away into its bag. So this tent does have some little struts that go on either end, so I take those out to make this a bit more packable. It also has 2 sets of poles. One is the main pole and the other is the crossing pole as well. but very minimal, and they fold down to a pretty good size there. So very simply, on the opposite side that I've put the Thermarest trekker chair, I then put this down on the other side and just push it all the way down. Fits down no problem. And then lastly, this goes in. It doesn't really matter how it goes in because it will just contour to the bag anyway. Push it all in there. Cinch it down a little bit. Fill the gaps. The Happens pack has got the little buttons on the top, which are really, really helpful if you've ever used any roll top packs. It can be quite a bit of a nightmare. Push it all down. Tighten the sides. And then the top. Again, you've got ample room to put some other items as well, so if there's anything you want to carry on top here, this is a good place to put it. Tighten that down. I hate the straps flying around, so I always tuck them away. And that's it, all packed. What I'll do is, if I'm feeling up for it, I'll put all the weights down in the description as well, or they'll be flashing across the screen when I showcase what's in the bag. But as usual, thank you very much for watching. I will bring out a winter series of this as well, so a winter version with all, I suppose, my winter kit for extreme conditions, which I'll share with you guys. And thanks for watching.